We've got Keith Bergthold from the Executive Director of Fresno Metro Ministry.
Thank you.
And nonprofit's been in for
45 years.
45 years. That's a long, long time. Thank you for
Thank you very much for having me.
And just as a disclaimer here, I've got I'm honored to sit on the board for Fresno Metro. They do some really, really exciting things for Fresno. So if you're looking for an opportunity to get involved to help the community by latching on to an organization that focuses on making Fresno a better city and the surrounding areas for the kids in schools, to those in need, take a real good listen to this interview, and you'll find some opportunities to get involved. So Keith, can you give a quick, brief overview of what Fresno Metro is?
Well, Fresno Metro was founded 45 years ago when a number of churches were leaving downtown Fresno and felt like there was a vacuum they were leaving in terms of social issues and economic issues and safety issues. And so Metro started to fill that void and started being an advocate for disadvantaged communities and residents, dealing with health issues, safety issues, environmental issues, income issues. And it's done a great job. There's been a great tradition of being engaged in the community, of being there at the ground with people who are experiencing maybe not the best parts of life, right? That sort of thing. I've been there for about 16 months, and in the tradition of Metro's advocacy around health and the environment, we're really refocusing Metro to be more of a backbone organization to do community development. Produce results in some specific areas that we think honor that tradition of Metro and what it was founded to do. And so we've now started to work more in food production, local food production, gardens and farms. We've got a new food rescue program we've developed with an energy partner that we call Food to Share.
Now that's really cool. Tell us how this works, because it's really cool how they do this.
We're very fortunate that we are partnering with a company down in Tulare who actually has a fully permitted but unbuilt anaerobic food digester.
What does that mean?
That is a plant. It's actually an energy plant, and the feedstock for the energy plant is old food, green waste, and ag waste. And it converts those into natural gas and biodiesel.
Wow.
And one of the problems with our air quality in the valley, which a lot of people have experienced, it's harder to breathe here, 5 times the asthma rate, is because a lot of our leftover food and ag waste and green waste gets buried, and it gets converted over time into methane gas, which escapes into the atmosphere, and it compromises the ozone and greenhouse gases and things like that. So this is really waste diversion from landfills and burying food and green waste and those kinds of things to a plant that converts it to natural gas and biodiesel.
So can you give us an example of how that would apply, or where you could have measurable savings, like as far as large amounts of trash coming from one place, or...
Well, just to give you an example, in the Wall Street Journal just last week, they estimated that in the U.S., the average food waste is $900 per person per year. That's $165 billion worth of food that gets wasted.
Wow.
So the idea of it's probably 30 to 40% of the food we touch in one way or another we waste, and it goes into the gray container, goes to the landfill and gets buried. So that produces all this negative pollution. If we can get it out of the landfill and divert it down there, then we can save millions of tons of greenhouse gases and pollutants and convert it to renewable energy. But the part that we're doing in partnership with this energy company is we're trying to find the edible food. And we're trying to divert that back to ministries that are feeding people, cafeterias that are feeding people. And there's all this food that is really good food that just gets wasted. So we have a food rescue component to Food to Share, and then we have an energy or a food waste diversion component that we're trying to do. So that together we help feed the hungry, we reduce waste, improve the environment, and generate renewable energy.
And generate renewable energy in the form of biodiesel.
It's really a great
That's kind of revolutionary.
Well, I think it's certainly new to our area, and I think other people are discovering that you need to rethink waste.
It's an awareness thing, because just 10, 15 years ago, what it meant to recycle is different than it is today, and that's just over years of awareness. So. Okay, that's pretty. Now I've heard of this Better Blackstone, and when I say I heard of this, I know all about it. But I'd love the viewers to learn about what Better Blackstone is and how it works and just how big of a project it can be.
Better Blackstone is really an initiative to link neighborhoods and merchants and institutions that have Blackstone in common. Either they're in the footprint of Blackstone from Divisadero up to Audubon. So it's 8.5 miles long. And our project area is a half mile either side.
Yeah.
And in that half mile either side of Blackstone, for those 8.5 miles, there's 50,000 residents.
Wow.
Over 2,100 businesses, and I don't know how many churches and schools.
Who all have an interest in what's going on in Blackstone.
It's their spine. Blackstone's the spine of Fresno.
It is kind
it's
of,
the
yeah.
old Highway 41 that literally linked Yosemite and Morro Bay,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And it went through Fresno. And
Yeah.
then when Freeway 41 was built, it started this process of becoming a little different than it was in the past. Blackstone's central to the implementation of the new City of Fresno General Plan.
Okay.
Bus rapid transit will be launched on Blackstone in 2017.
Okay.
We think that there are literally thousands of jobs that can be created along Blackstone that can use the existing pavement,
Yeah.
no cost, can use the new bus system, it's a public cost as we're all going to bear, and can generate a lot of new businesses, a lot of new services, recreational opportunities. When the bus system's in place, there should be during peak hours, 15 minutes. You should never wait more than 15 minutes, and you're going to be able to make it from River Park downtown,
Yeah.
wherever you need to go. And businesses can start to rely on that, and they can build their services and their products around a whole new market segment that could use Blackstone.
Right.
And we think the investment means many things. We think it means revitalization of an area where we've wasted resources. It means cleaning up air quality, more people riding the bus on that corridor. It means trying to balance growth in our whole metropolitan region, so there's more growth in the central city where we've already got the sewer and the water
Yeah.
and the sidewalks and things like that. It means improving the neighborhoods along Blackstone. A lot of our neighborhoods on South Blackstone are very poor.
Yeah.
And in fact, the poverty rate in our service area is probably 20, 30, 40% higher than the city average. So there's a lot of challenges here, and for Blackstone to be vibrant, we think it would mean that for there to be a better Blackstone, we
Yeah.
think there would be a better Fresno.
Sure. Oh, I think that, and it really comes down to awareness. Once again, it's getting people aware of how they can maybe get involved or contribute or donate. And Fresno Metro is kind of a core organization pulling all this to kind of a go-between.
Well, this is kind of a new model.
Yeah.
We're trying to change that model where you just kind of fight for all the crumbs and the pie's finite to expanding the pie, number one. And we think the way to do that is not to be a proprietary organization, but
Yeah.
to be a capacity builder for the whole community. So we're launching these things we call community brands. Better Blackstone's a community brand. It'll
Right.
have its own stakeholder advisory. The Metro Board will act to keep supporting
Right.
the capacity of that new organization. Same thing with Food to Share, a whole brand new network and stakeholder group. And each one will have their own websites.
Yeah.
Each one will have their own resource gathering so that eventually they become independent.
And people can kind of latch on to something that's important to them, whether it's
Exactly.
food recovery or environmental, or because they live in the Blackstone, or that maybe they're an anchor institution on Blackstone and they have a stake in what's going on with that.
Exactly. And it feeds into a lot of other projects. We just recently had a big abundant community event.
So, okay.
And we brought out a guy from Minneapolis by the name of Ramon Leon. Ramon Leon was a Mexican immigrant, landed in Minneapolis, bright guy, and he founded a thing called the Latino Economic Development Center. What they do is they create public markets, they call them mercados, that incubate businesses.
Wow.
And in 20 years, Ramon and his center have created 600 businesses that now employ over 5,000 people.
Wow.
We want that to happen on Blackstone. We want that to happen on
Absolutely.
Kings Canyon and
Yeah.
Ventura. We want that to happen on Shaw, right?
Yeah.
We're missing a bet here, and there's nothing quite like this to incubate our local businesses and
Yeah.
use our local entrepreneurial talent. So
Right.
there's a lot of things they'll blend into this. Part of Better Blackstone will be a community development corporation. They can actually help develop new commercial and residential and office complexes, help people start businesses.
Yeah.
And instead of people not knowing where to go, give them access and a pathway to actually start their business and create jobs and invest in our economy.
So where do people go for information on this?
Well, you can go to Fresno, just Google Fresno Metro Ministry. It'll take you right to our website. Yeah.
And phone number. Okay, great. Keith, there's a lot going on. The Better Blackstone thing is something that seems like it can make a real change.
Well,
in
thanks for
Fresno.
letting me tell the story. We
Absolutely.
want people to join.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you very, very much.